side. That's Devontae Adams. He goes up and he makes the catch for the touchdown. He beat Monteric Brown. They threw a fade to the right corner. He went up over Monteric and made the catch. And another touchdown for the Rams.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Jeff Lageman, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, welcome in, everybody. It is time for a Check the Tape Tuesday. It might not be pleasant, but it must be done. Jeff Lageman's in studio here with us as the Jags coming off that 35-7 beatdown by the Rams. Logs, good morning. How are you?
Morning. A little better rested today than I was yesterday.
Were you? What was the travel back like?
We landed, I think, around 3 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
And, by the time I got home, in bed was 5 a.m.
So I'm assuming you stayed up for the Monday night doubleheader then?
No. I watched a good bit of the first game, which was very entertaining. Detroit's a good football team. But, yeah, no chance on the second one.
Yeah, I was delighted, man. I got off the air last night at 10 o'clock. I'm like, this is perfect. I had like half the fourth quarter still to go, and the first game had a whole nother game waiting for me last night. And good to see the Seattle Seahawks didn't take their foot off the gas. And, surprisingly, beat the Houston Texans
their defense
by 8.
Their defense is great.
Oh, the defense is very good. No, I just am glad they did it to Houston like they did it to us. That was some small solace I was able to take out of this weekend. Logs, was it as bad on the rewatch as it was the first time through?
Yeah, there's not a lot of games that you watch that you go, oof, yeah. It, because you look at the score and you go, there's nothing good. During the game, you felt like, well, there's nothing good. And then you watch the film and you're like, there's nothing good. Yeah. It's not very often. Sometimes it's never as bad as it looks, and it's never as good as it looks sometimes with the film. But this was a game and an occasion where this one felt exactly right. And when you watch the film, it looked exactly the same.
The narrative continues on Trevor Lawrence that he's spectacular at times and frustratingly inconsistent at other times. Less than 50% passing, similar to his AFC South rival C.J. Stroud last night, by the way. What did you make particularly of Trevor's performance?
I didn't think he gave him a chance to win. He didn't play very well. And, there's a lot of things that happened around him, too, that didn't help. The penalties, the drops, defense not getting, stops. But out of the gate, when you play a game, there's always this kind of thought process, are you ready to play, or is it the energy that's created from making plays that gives you the energy to play? And I think it's a little bit of both. I thought this team was a little lethargic the way that they came out and didn't seem to have, it felt good in warm-ups, and watching them and feeling it. But at the beginning of the game, it was just like everybody's just standing around waiting for somebody to make a play. And you start out and you go 3 and out, and the disappointing thing is you take a sack on the first play, and the first play you've got a wide-open Travis Hunter throw the ball. And he's your primary. As far as I can tell, and you don't make that throw, you don't even really look at him, and that play right there made you go, what are we doing? And it didn't get a whole lot better because, you had the sack on the first drive. You had a hold on the second drive, and I think the third drive you had a sack again. And there were 7 sacks in that ball game, and I would say, if I'm being nice, 5 of them were on Trevor, that could have been avoided. In reality, probably 6 of them could have been avoided. And what I mean by being avoided is that either you've got a guy that you can find, that's open, like on the first sack, or second one, you're scrambling, you got an opportunity, just throw it away, like on a bootleg, right? Don't take a sack.
Why run out of bounds with the ball?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense when any quarterback does it.
And then another time, you've got an opportunity, you're kind of scrambling around a little bit. Well, just turf it. Line up and play another down. There was one play I thought that was definitely not on Trevor, but it wasn't a good performance by him. There's no ways to kind of go around this. And look, there's a lot of performances were not good. By guys that you expect to be good. Brian Thomas continues to have the drops, which is hurting this football team in a big way. When you're trying to generate some momentum and you can't generate the momentum because you're a number one wide receiver, at least that's kind of what he was expected to be, is continuing to have drops week in and week out. That's a problem. I'll give you another one on defense, kind of unexpected. Jordan Lewis didn't have a great game. In big games and big moments, you want your best players to be kind of at their best, and that wasn't the case in London.
Is Travis Hunter being asked to do enough in the passing game in the offense that you can look? Brian Thomas Jr., it does feel like to me we're getting to a point in the season where he just is what he is, right, in the 2025 season.
Yeah, but I think as a coaching staff, Tony, you can't have that mindset.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As far as, okay, he is what he is. I think at some point you have to treat it that way. As far as if he's going to continue to have drops, then the next step is that, you try to work with him to get better, find out what's going on. You're taking those steps. Well, if the drops keep happening, then there's got to be a decrease in opportunity.
Is Hunter playing well enough into the offense that they can take some of the things that they do with Brian Thomas as far as featuring him in the offense and transition that over to Travis Hunter?
I think they've been trying to do that.
Okay.
I think they've been trying to do that for the last couple of weeks. But I think that, for whatever reason, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's, protection, whether it's a penalty or whatever, that opportunity has just not been taken advantage of. But the last couple of weeks, you could clearly see kind of a change in the offense a little bit to where they wanted to get him more targets and more involved. Look, he's not perfect either. He had the alignment issue, where he lined up offside that negated what would have been a big play, against Seattle. So he's not completely free and clear. There's moments that he can be better. But right now, he's their best receiver right now. I don't think there's any doubt. He's got great body control. He's great after the catch. His hands have been extremely solid. And, and he's a young player. That's very rare to kind of see that. One of the things that I was going to do in the film room this week, which will be on, different avenues that the Jaguars have, whether it be television shows or social media or website, is going to be looking at this past game's performance that he had. He was outstanding. Didn't have as many reps on defense, but that one-on-one man coverage against Davante Adams was smoking good.
So where is he when Davante Adams is catching 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns from a total of 4 yards out?
Well, it's kind of the balance you got to have, and it's a great question. And I think, going back to what Tony asked is that, at what point do you start to feature him? Well, you have been, and I think this week was a concerted effort to get him more involved in the offensive game plan, because you can see by the number of reps that he had on offense, the number of times that he was a primary, and then also the decreased reps on defense. You would think that, okay, with the Rams missing Puka Nacua and then having Davante Adams, you could maybe handle
double
that.
Him and, yeah.
Handle it without really feeling like, okay, we got to have him out there. But when he was out there, Travis Hunter was outstanding, especially on that one play.
All right, we got plenty to do with Jeff Lageman on a Check the Tape Tuesday. Your calls and questions welcome as always at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can stream us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or find us on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Logs56, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, so you got questions. We'll ask them and pose them to Jeff Lageman, see if he's got the answers for the Jags heading into the bye week. We appreciate your feedback and your thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know how to get those in front of us. So let's get through a Check the Tape Tuesday together here. Logs in studio here with us on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. When that golf ball crashed into my living room through the window, yeah, it was time to replace all the windows in my house. Decided to go with the sliding glass door, too, because Pella is just that good. And right now, you can have the same great experience to upgrade your home with 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's up to 6 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Schedule a free consultation by going to PellaJacks.com or stop by their showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today Tuesday, kept pest-free by Julington Creek Pest Control. Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rollie.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL. Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
I'm Amber Frangie. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. Call them at 844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, check the tape Tuesday. Jeff Lageman in studio. Got some very specific questions for you that we will get to coming up, but just you were saying on the break something that I think will be a surprise to a lot of people watching the game. Jags didn't run very effectively until like the last drive. ETN put up a few numbers. Trevor got sacked 7 times. You don't think the offensive line had a bad day?
I don't think it was terrible, no. like, when you look at those 7 sacks again, kind of go back to what I said, is that I put, I put 5 of them on the quarterback, that he can just get rid of the ball or do something different, find a guy that's open, that's the intended receiver, things of that nature. And look, the Rams got some good players over there now, 0 and 8 and 10. I mean, they're 91, 55. I mean, these guys are good football players for the Rams, and I thought for the most part they did okay. Now, there were moments that a couple guys got beat, but look, the pocket's going to be dirty when you play good front, and as a quarterback, you have to manipulate the pocket and then buy yourself some time, be athletic, and sometimes take it when it's there and then throw it away when it's not there. And I'm going to go back and say this. I thought that the quarterback didn't play well, and that was the big reason for the 7 sacks.
This is very specific about the first play, the first sack, right? Yeah. Question on the text line. The first play is sack where Trevor doesn't see Travis. Again, I'm going to kind of read this verbatim. If you look, there's the defender coming blazing into his face unblocked. They ended up knocking down passes all day. How do we know where in the read Travis is? But it also feels like a little too much on Trevor for the first play to have a man running down his face. Not going to make excuses for the rest of the game. Nitpicking that first play when he had no protection seems to be a bit much.
Sure. I mean, but, as a quarterback, it wasn't a free defender. All you have to do is slide to your left, make a throw. It's not like all of a sudden the pocket just completely crumpled and evaporated. I mean, that's part of having pocket presence. But the reality is, if he's your primary, that's not even a factor. The ball is out before the defender even has a chance to even smell your cologne. So not a factor.
I'm a Trevor Lawrence guy. This is from Miguel. Believe we can win with him. I am concerned with his lack of touch on passes, missing some of the layups. With no defender between him and the receiver, he continually throws high fastballs. Is that part of what you're?
Well, it's high. Sometimes it's low. I mean, on the swing pass to ETN, it was 3 yards off the mark and then in the grass.
Right.
I mean, there was high.
I don't know
ones.
if that ball was falling out of his hand. That was the ugliest pass he threw all day. Even the one to Diami that they completed for 40 yards,
short,
was a little behind him.
Yeah.
Made him slow down, and there was no run after the catch.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that being kind of where it was. I mean, you're trying to kind of put it away, and on that particular play, he actually gets hit, can't quite follow through. So to kind of come to his defense on that one, that was contact in the pocket. But the throw to Nick Munt, high and hot, a couple times on the incompletions right in the middle. A little quick with the ball, putting a little bit of mustard on it, so to speak, instead of maybe just kind of, just letting it go without a whole lot of heat, to give the receiver an opportunity to find it and to adjust to it a little bit more. Look, the perfect example of some things that were done very well was the guy on the other side of the field, Matthew Stafford. Here's a guy that avoided pressure and avoided sacks, last-second throws in the pocket, and manipulated the pocket himself. I mean, he was the perfect example of where you want your quarterback to be at some point, because if this is a quarterback league and you're going to face a quarterback like Matthew Stafford every week, which you won't, then, your quarterback's got to play better.
How many times in the game, talking about the way that Stafford played, and we can get into some of the pressure that he faced, how many times in the game did he have to avoid more than one guy to get in position to make a play?
I think it was twice, once or twice. I think there was 2 guys that were coming, where he got rid of it. But for the most part, Tony, the pressure's not where it needs to be up front for the Jaguars defense. It's just not. I mean, it's the last 2 games. Against Kansas City, you kind of expect it, right? I mean, Patrick Mahomes, right? And he can just skate and go anywhere he wants. And, and he's great at extending the play, and he's never where you expect him to be, and you're kind of conservative as a pass rusher. All of those were factors in that. Seattle, against what I thought was an inferior line, I wasn't very impressed with our front's ability to generate pressure. And then his pass game was not impressed with the front's ability to consistently generate some type of pressure against Matthew Stafford. Because, look, the fact of the matter is, I mean, he's a good quarterback, but he's also a little bit long in tooth, doesn't have the physical skill set to evade a lot of pressure anymore. There's opportunities there, and if you hit him a couple times, and hit him good, You know, I mean, he's, older guys have a tendency to feel a little bit more, and then maybe he'll start peaking somewhere. But weren't able
instead
to do
he
that.
became the first quarterback to throw 5 touchdowns in an international game.
There you go.
So there you go. All right, let's go to the phones for the first time this morning. If you have a specific question for Jeff Lageman, we'd love to hear it at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. Sean on the south side going to be first up today. Sean, good morning.
Hey, morning. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Jeff, I can appreciate your comments by Trevor. Seeing like a lot of the fan base get a little sensitive when you criticize him, so I can appreciate that. But my question is about the mentality of this team. I know the bulk of the players are still here from last year, and when you listen to Liam Cohen's press conferences, they sound identical to Doug Peterson's about not beating yourselves, and it just seems like the same kind of turnover from this year. So I was wondering what do you think about the mentality of this team, and if it doesn't hold up, do you think they should tear it down and start over? Take comments out there. Thank you.
Okay, and I appreciate your comments, and I will say this about Liam Cohen. I'm a believer. I am. I don't think it's anywhere near the same. He's got an edge and an intensity to him that I think is outstanding, and his ability to communicate with the players is, I think he's going to be a star in this league. I do. But he's still young. He's still learning a lot, too. I mean, there's things that he's got to get better at, and I'm sure he would be the first one to admit that. And, to go back to Trevor a little bit, I'm not saying that he can't win. I'm just saying that this week he didn't give him a chance to win. Mm-hmm. I'm not criticizing him and saying he's a bad quarterback overall. I'm just saying this game right here, he played as if he was a bad quarterback. Now, he's got to be better, and he knows that, and people got to be better around him. But, if he plays like this, again, I'm going to say this, if he plays like this, it's going to be hard to win. He's got to play better than this game. This was not his best game. It was one of his worst games that he's ever had, but he's capable of so much more. I'm still a believer in Trevor Lawrence, but he's got to be better than that.
All right, Sean, thank you. I really don't want to entertain the hypotheticals of what if the season is a disaster.
Yeah,
if
we're
it
not
is,
there yet.
We'll have months to discuss
We're not there
what
yet.
happened in the season and what needs to be done. How about this? What if the Jags win the rest of their games, Jeff? Should we give more money to everyone? Let's see what happens. As of today, the Jags are in the playoffs in the AFC.
Well, and that's why I wanted to say that about Trevor, because, look, I'm looking at one game. Okay, we're talking about checking the tape on one game.
Understood.
Okay, this is one game, and look, he can turn around and in 2 weeks have a marvelous game in Vegas against the Raiders.
I mean, my point being, though, like a couple weeks ago, Dewey's having a hell of a year, right? Dewey's leader in the secondary. Dewey gotten beaten a lot in the last 2 weeks.
He's had a tough couple weeks.
I'm just saying, who knows a month from now what we're going to feel about anything. Do they get back on the turnover, bent,
right,
or do they not get any, and then people are down on Anthony Campanile? We just, the ebbs and flows are too much to project
Stay
what
tuned.
we're going to do in the offseason.
Right.
Stay
And
tuned.
it was
at this point.
A team that early in the season, we were talking a moment ago about the pressure they didn't get, right, on Sunday against the Rams. Well, early in the season, they weren't a big sack team, but they were affecting the opposing quarterback a lot, right, early in the year. The last 2-3 weeks, that has not been the case. Trayvon's hurt, so we don't know how much of a factor that is when he gets back.
It's a huge factor.
Right, do they get back to it, though? And I do think it's fair when we're trying to take a big picture look at where they're at with 4-3 and where Trevor is and where a bunch of different pieces of the team are. It sounds like it's obviously a failing grade for Sunday for Trevor Lawrence. If you had to give him a grade on the season to this point, what kind of grade would you give him?
I give him a C+.
Okay.
B-, somewhere in that range, probably a B-, just because it's, the first season in this new system, and he's been handling the operation itself very well. Still want to clean up some of the formation, motion, penalties, et cetera, because I think that has a lot to do with the quarterback and him seeing the whole offense and having the patience to make sure that guys are getting set and getting them lined up. But I mean, a B-, But reality is that, that's also kind of on a curve, because it's a new system. Right. It's everything is new to him this year. So if this were year 4 or 5 in the same system, what grade would I give him? I'd probably give him a C- right now, but he gets a little bit of that curve.
All right, back to the lines we go. Ben is next in Green Cove Springs. Good morning, Ben.
Hey, guys. Hey, Jeff. I just had 3 questions to ask. The first question is Trayvon Walker. How much is he being affected with that injury? He seems pretty non-existent out there. Second is during that game, at what point do you think maybe the coaches, since we're losing so bad, just for that game, put Mullins in and let him, try to do something? He's our backup quarterback. Trevor's doing nothing. And then third question is BTJ. Do you think if Trevor puts it in his chest that he catches more of those passes? Yeah, granted they are catchable passes, but he is having to reach, having a lot of pressure around him. If Trevor's more accurate with those passes, is BTJ going to come down with those?
All right, so BTJ, let me start with him. Ball placement to me is not a factor.
Catch the damn ball.
For him, it's just, look, he's had really good balls and has dropped them. The one across the middle the other day was a really good ball. He couldn't have walked out there and placed it any better as a quarterback. That was a good ball. The one that he has to elevate and get, last time I checked, if you're going to be...
You're allowed to jump and catch a ball, right?
You're supposed to be the man.
It's called high pointing a ball.
Yes.
That's what you...
It's a skill.
That's what you get paid to do as a wide receiver. So to answer that question, look, there always can be better placements of the ball in certain situations. But as a receiver, that's not your thing to worry about. You just catch the balls that are there. So I'll say that's on Brian. As far as Trayvon, look, we said it a couple weeks ago that it's hard for a guy that plays the game, or any guy that plays the game of football, to not have use of a hand, and to add pain and discomfort to that, because the reality is, after you have surgery on it, it's going to have pain and discomfort. And Trayvon is a strength player. Strength players play with their hands. And that's taken away a huge asset of what Trayvon has, and he's been, for the most part, I don't want to say non-existent, because he's had a couple good rushes, but it's just not the Trayvon that we know who can play at a pretty good level. I'm not saying he's a dominant player or ever has been a great player. He's been a really good player, and in the last 2 weeks, he's not been able to be that because of the what we call handicap, or whatever you want to call it, because of the situation that he has.
The other one was
Mullins
pulling Trevor in the middle of the game for Nick
Absolutely
Mullins.
Not. Nick Mullins is a backup quarterback. And what I mean by that, he's a backup quarterback. He's a backup quarterback, and the rest of his career, he's going to be a backup quarterback. He's not a backup quarterback that you're hoping to develop into a starter. So there's absolutely no reason to play Nick Mullins in a game like that.
All right.
Especially when, as you said, Trevor Lawrence is learning a new offense. Why would you take reps away from him? Yeah.
He needs the reps. The more reps that he can get.
I'm glad he was in there to connect with Travis Hunter for his first touchdown, in the fourth quarter, and hopefully we see more of that.
Well, you hope I don't want to say that, you build on that, because, that's senseless to say that, we're going to build on that play.
Right, it's one play.
It's, look, I'm happy that Travis got it, because he's a good player and he's worked hard and he's everything you want.
We've been hearing, though, for weeks, this is the week they're going to get a lot of targets to Travis Hunter. It just finally came to fruition this time. He got 14 balls thrown his way. So for it to come together, him to get the touchdown, get that out of the way, first 100-yard game, I think you can build on the overall performance of Travis Hunter.
Well, I think they've been kind of building that area with Travis over the last couple weeks. The more involved that you can tell that he's been more involved in the offense. He's getting more positional alignments in this offense, where the first couple weeks you saw him kind of staying at that slot position and only at the slot position, and now you're starting to see him line up in other places. You can see that the playbook is opening up for him a little bit.
All right, we'll take a time out here. It is a Check the Tape Tuesday. Jeff Lageman in studio, and he has done just that. Check that tape. If you have specific questions about the Jags' performance or where they're headed, bring them to the table on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
It's a Jaguars Today Tuesday, sparked by Julington Creek Pest Control.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me, don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order Logo coffee mugs, or maybe a Logo Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, Prosser here, and right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait, no hard credit pull. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates at a 3-year low. Act now. Call 914-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Call 914-999-1508. See how much cash you can get today. You can also visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Football season is here, and the Hills Grill at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy our tailgate menus and drink specials every Saturday and Sunday. Join us after your round and cheer on your favorite team. That's Hidden Hills Golf Club, Monument Road.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, Jaguars Today. Bye week coming up. Hopefully the Jags can reset a little bit. What can you get done on a bye week, Jeff, when, the first week, due to the collective bargaining agreement, the players basically have off. It's not like you're getting a double week of practice before your next game.
Yeah, so. It's a little different than what it used to be. The way it used to be, you had practice typically on a a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, finished early, and then
let him go for the weekend.
Yeah, let him go for the weekend. Whereas now it's essentially almost the whole week off.
Right.
Now you come in, from the London trip. You traveling, so players get Monday off, and then probably come in on Tuesday, and then bam, you're done for the whole week. See you next week.
So what would you like to see Liam Cohen try to tweak? If there was one thing you'd like to see him tweak in his approach, in his usage of players, and whatever, what would it be?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick one thing.
Or
but,
just, it doesn't have to be the top of the list.
Well, I think the top of the list for him is that you've got to look at what you're doing, player usage, and finding a way to where once you get to week 18, you're at your best. And I think that some of that will be players that you're playing, and rotational amounts for each of those players. You got to be honest, and the bye week is a perfect opportunity to do what they call self-scout.
Right.
Which you look at your personnel, their play time, how you can get better by the time you get to week 18. And so you have to take a hard look at that. You also take a hard look at your play calling. Are we predictable? Look at the opponents, what they did to match your situations and calls. And because analytics, I think, plays a big part of that. That's why each team's analytics department is a huge factor when it comes to bye week evaluation. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that has to happen in the bye week. And then also, I'm a big believer in that you got to be able to take a step away and take a deep breath and get away from it for a good solid 2 days. And sometimes as a Tom Coughlin type, it's hard to do that, right? Because you're a grinder, a hard worker. But I think that sometimes is the best thing for the competitive spirit that might be the best of all.
All right.
I know you've already said that you thought the offensive line against the Rams was okay. Not great, but they were okay in the game against the Rams. A lot of people are asking, including us, Wyatt Milam is healthy enough to at least be a consideration on game day for the football team for the first time. Do you think there is a place for him on the field coming out of the bye, or do you think we're still waiting to see when he gets his first real NFL action?
Well, I think that's there's two parts to that answer. Number one is, where is he at from a health standpoint?
Sure.
Because he had the knee and he was kind of not put on IR with the expectation that he could be back, maybe available sooner. Well, we didn't see him active at all until past that 4-week window, right? So you're thinking, okay, maybe it didn't heal as fast as you would like to have seen. Okay, well, he was active, not in London, but the week before. So now he's kind of getting to that point. Where is he at from getting back into the flow of things as a player? Because the reality is, here you are in the bye week. We just got done talking about there's no practice, so he doesn't get the benefit of having practice. How much practice has he had since he's been back? Because the whole purpose of the regular season is to get the guys that are playing ready to play, not the guys that have been hurt, to get them ready to kind of maybe come back. So you have to find ways to do that elsewhere. But if he's back 100%, and then he's back into the flow as a player, I think he's one of your best 5 offensive linemen. He's got to play.
At whose expense?
I would say right now McCary is the guy that probably did not have the last 2 weeks, didn't have great games. Walker Little also didn't have a great game against Seattle. Struggled a little bit, but I thought he played pretty good against a couple really good players this past game. He gave up a couple plays, but look, again, that's really good players. But, the rest of obviously Wyatt doesn't play center. Hainsey he had a couple snaps that were kind of his past game. But for the most part, he does Hainsey things, which is really nice down the field effort, got good leadership, makes good calls, and Milam doesn't play center. I don't think Wyatt is a true left tackle. We talked about that thing about, okay, is this team, are they going to do what's best to get them to be their best at week 18? Is part of that playing Wyatt Milam at right tackle, letting Anton play left? Well, now you got a whole new set of problems, right, of getting Anton adjusted to playing on the other side. And Anton, by the way, is playing really good. Give him some credit. He's having his best year as a pro. But, it's either a left guard or a right guard thing right now, I think, for the most part. And Ezra Cleveland had a little stretch there where he's kind of the play was really good at the beginning and then kind of okay because he had the ankle, and then now it's getting back to being good. So McCary right now is the guy that out of those two positions you would say, okay, let's maybe get a shot there. But if Wyatt Milam is ready, that's a lot of assumptions.
Sure. Yeah, we don't know. We're not out there. But
again, I think he's one of the best five. I think hands down he's one of the best five.
And as Tony said, it's a big talking point at the moment. All right, let's get Dean on the south side next here on a Check the Tape Tuesday. Good morning, Dean.
I'd like to send my compliments to Tony before I get to my question regarding his call, his play-by-play on Friday night on the Bulls.
Oh, thank you very much.
They win?
You could say
Yeah, they won big.
Awesome.
And a future in broadcasting at the higher levels. I could say really enjoy it. But I wanted to ask Jeff a question about procurement. The way the NFL is configured, I mean, you got the draft and you got free agency and you got all these different ways to procure players, and the Jags been on the lower end of that, so they should be able to go to the different venues to be able to procure players. So, I mean, why do you think that other teams seem to always be able to get some players that to produce, though, and the Jags seem to struggle?
Well, you didn't have the right people in place. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, whoever's picking the horses has got to be pretty good. And the Jaguars haven't had very good horse pickers, to be perfectly honest with you. You look at what the Rams have been able to do with virtually no first-round picks, hardly at all, for how long now? Since
decade.
Like a decade, right? Yeah. Like 10 years.
Roughly.
And the one that they've had recently, Jared Verse, many people had him downgraded because he didn't have the tangible measurables, right? I mean, well, what is he? He's a damn good football player. And you look at what the Rams were able to do a couple years ago in the third round. I mean, I was sitting there doing my board, and I'm like, all right, Byron Young, let's see here. Third-round pick in 2023. Kobe Turner, third-round pick in 2023. Oh, 2 third-round picks. Oh, Byron Young, okay, leading the league or right there at the top of the league in sacks.
Yeah.
7.5 going into the game, and he had what, 2? Did he have 2 in this game?
1.5.
1.5. So now he's at 9. Third-round pick. Kobe Turner. Excellent interior player. Not only just a excellent interior player, but a guy that has some positional versatility where he can play defensive end, he can play inside, he can play even nose, and a third-round pick. So, I mean, as an organization, that's what James Gladstone was brought in to do. And I thought that his draft right now, if you look at his draft, I thought his draft from this past spring was very good. Now, again, ask me 3 years from now.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. I mean, because, 2 of his 3 highest picks haven't been on the field. One got hurt, not his fault. The other one got hurt and got behind, and that was Wyatt Milam, who we're talking about. I mean, we're hopeful for Bajal Tootin, but the guy picked 1 pick behind him, Cam Scadaboo, is lighting the league up right now at the same position.
Had a lot more ops, and
he has, but
Travis Hunter,
delivered.
He gave up a lot to get him, and, so – again, ask me in 3 years from now.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a time out here. Thank you, Dean. If you're on the line, stay right there. We'll get to you coming up on a Check the Tape Tuesday. Jeff Lageman's in studio. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Let the excitement of the game take you away.
Flyers back on top of the college basketball world. Championship madness.
Your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
It's a great day to be a Gator. Northeast Florida Auto, Power Sports, and RV dealers. Tom McMahon is here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
It's Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Protected by Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Guys, don't suffer through this season with prostate, bladder, or kidney issues. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations with advanced urological care to improve your health and vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
It's holiday season and it's not too late to find the perfect spot to celebrate with your team. Fourscore is a place that brings the energy, where great food, craft drinks, and unreal vibes meet cutting-edge full-swing simulators. Don't play golf? Do not worry. With over 40 interactive games, Fourscore has something that everyone will enjoy. Perfect for company outings, birthdays, and even private events that go beyond the ordinary. With locations in historic San Marco and centrally located Gate Parkway, Fourscore is ready to make your next celebration unforgettable. Hit the easy button and book your event today at fourscoregolf.com.
Business owners, are you tired of getting the runaround from your plumbing or AC vendors? Fire them now and call Duck Duck Rooter. Duck Duck Rooter is the trusted partner for some of the largest commercial companies in Northeast Florida. From a professional accounting office that makes contracts and invoicing seamless to highly skilled field technicians who fix the problems fast, they handle it all. Make the smart move today with Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769. 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Rooter, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
I'm Amber Frangie. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. Call them at 844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, Jags full, but they are 4-3 going into the bye. You can spin that however you like. You can feel great, you can feel bad. Nobody's telling you how to feel about it. There are realities that the Jags need to play better in certain areas, certainly, maybe a lot of areas. But the reality is also that they've managed to win 4 of their first 7 and find themselves in the hunt. Let's go back, Logs, and find out who else has questions for you, including Dave on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines at 641-1010. Dave, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted Jeff's opinion of my opinion, Brian Thomas Jr., because what I see seems to indicate more than a problem with drop passes, which is significant. But to me, it appears that he has a reluctance, and I'd almost have to say almost a cowardly way of going across the middle. Seems to short-arm it, almost seems to wince, bracing for hits, and not really going after the ball. And if that's the case, how is he viewed in the locker room? I would like your comments on that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he's viewed in the locker room. That's not a place that I live in anymore. But, the one thing about Brian that is definitely shown is that, the drops have been inside, outside, doesn't matter. There really hasn't been just one particular area that is isolating those drops. So do you want to try to keep him away from the middle? I wouldn't say that, but I would say that his strength has been vertical, more down the field, so I would probably choose to have him doing more of those because if you look at some of the drops that he's had, again, they have been just as frequent on the outside as they have been on the inside.
Right. Now, there's a narrative going around because, like, Diami kind of didn't go full bore into one where he kind of reached that hand out.
Oh, yeah, it was a one-handed try.
Right, and he could have gone a little bit more physically.
I will say on that play, and I'm not trying to give him a pass, but he was late. It looked like he was a little late picking it up. But if you get one hand up, you can get two up. Kind of that, that's my thinking there. But yeah, it wasn't what you wanted to see.
All right. Well, the narrative is from people, and they're at least the questioning is that Trevor throws these guys into danger more often than the typical quarterback, and even sometimes when that is not, it's in their head that like, this guy's going to get me blown up. I'm not going to put my life on the line for this quarterback who's not consistently accurate. If he was a guy who's consistently putting it on my numbers and occasionally I had to go into danger, fine, that's one thing. Do you buy that? Because this is what I'm hearing. There are people that would swear that that's the gospel truth. You tell me. How does that sit with you?
Well, I think it's a great question. What is the answer to that? I mean, then you'd have to kind of be Freud a little bit and kind of get in the psyche of some of these guys and see where they're at, because what you're talking about is hospital balls. That's what we call them, hospital balls, which quarterback throws a ball, which leads a receiver to basically get hammered and to injury. And there is no doubt that wide receivers, when hospital balls are frequent, will have a tendency to be nervous about ones that aren't hospital balls because they're concerned. Is that the case with Trevor? I don't think so. But then again, I don't have the inner opportunity to take a look at their brains. But again, Trevor's accuracy has not been very good. So could that be in play a little bit? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Fair enough. Let's move on. Code Blue in Springfield, Missouri. Next up. Good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
We're good. What's up?
Oh, nothing much, guys. I just want to talk about the offensive line a little bit. Do you guys think that Wyatt Milam will possibly be playing?
All right, Cody, we just literally went over this in the last 10 minutes.
He might have just tuned in.
He may have just tuned in, right? But go back and listen because we don't have time to go through the whole thing.
Quick answer, believe he's one of the best five.
Yes, Jeff thinks he's one of the best
five. Is he healthy? It would be McCary if it happens.
Will it happen? Yeah. Stay tuned. Eric on the west side, next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, fellas. My take is number one, I think we should just go ahead and put Travis on both sides, kind of take the training wheels off. His first rep guarding Devontae Adams, he strapped him up. It was kind of mind-boggling that they put Buster Brown on him in that situation and Jordan Lewis, on that situation. And then my take too, do you guys think that we should call back Fred Johnson? I know that Leon Searcy said that left tackle is supposed to be mean and nasty and supposed to be one of your strongest guys on the offensive line. And Fred Johnson, Walker Little beat out Fred Johnson for the job. So do you guys think we should call him back just to get Walker Little back on his toes, or what you guys think on that?
Well, I look with Fred Johnson, if you look at his history, there's a reason why he's bounced around for so many times with so many different teams. I mean, there's a level of play that he has that is really appealing. But then there's also plays that he has that make you go, what are you doing, bro? And which is inconsistent. And so that's one of the reasons why he's bounced around. He made some plays here in the preseason and some blocks that were just outstanding. And he had some blocks that you're like going, we call them lookout blocks, which means that you whiff and then the quarterback's going to get hammered. So the team has moved on from that, so I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on that. What was the other question he had? The first one?
Just using Travis Hunter more full-time on defense.
And it's a great question because where's the balance? Because you have to try to figure out how to get them ready to play a game, okay? Because there's only so much time during the week. There's only so much opportunity to rep everything in practice. So I think that because this is such uncharted ground, in college football, to give people an idea, if I were doing a comparison of playbooks, college football might be, let's say, 5th grade, okay? Most people, adults, could go through 5th grade and just ace it right now, right?
You can afford to do a lot of just go be an athlete.
Yeah, just be, line up and work. Defenses might play 3 coverages in college football. In offense, you don't have adjustments and cans and checks and routes that change based on coverage. You don't have any of that. So the complexity of the game plan goes from 5th grade, which is college, to now, let's say, calculus. Okay? So how are you going to get ready?
But I never learned algebra.
For that. I mean, Tony, I'm not, I didn't smoke calculus either. I got by. But it's very difficult to prep because, not only are you trying to understand game plan, but then you're also trying to study the opponent. And look, this is uncharted water here for the Jaguars, for coaches that are on the staff, for Travis Hunter. This is uncharted water because, again, college football, the playbook is easy. And you can just say, hey, on this play, you're going to run this route right here.
But that's why
it never changes.
When you're on the goal line or they're on the goal line, here's Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. He has 1 yard to go to get to the end zone. There's nothing complicated. It's you versus him, mano a mano. There's no scheme. It's you on an island. Don't let him catch this ball. Right? Like that, to me, there's no mental burden in putting Travis Hunter, or there's no physical burden.
No, I get it.
You don't need to run. There's nowhere to run. It's you got to cover for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Right here in this little window. Like that, to me, is where you should definitely see him on the field.
Well,
short yardage
and I don't disagree with that.
Short field.
But the hard part is, okay, how do you make sure that you're managing it? How do you know that that's going to be a fade route to Devontae Adams?
Well, but when he's lined up, singled up on the outside, who is your best option right now to cover somebody? I think it's Travis Hunter.
Totally get it. But if going in, hey, we're going to play man, you'd love to have him out there. Totally agree with that.
All right, got another hour to go. You can bring those questions to the table at 641-1010. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting. Beautiful day outside today. Going to be a beautiful week, but the rain's going to circle back around, and when hurricane season is here, it's no joke. Apex Roofing and Contracting will make sure you and your family are protected and taken great care of. And right now, you can get up to 100% financing with Apex. They're local, they're dependable, they'll show up on time with the most premium materials and ironclad warranties. Reach for the peak, Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach, or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. A great drive takes more than a set of wheels.
Fully loaded, I think is the term.
Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Don't push any of the buttons on that car.
On 1010XL.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 21st, 1976, the New York Knicks retired Willis Reed's number 19 jersey, which was the first in Knicks history.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What Major League Baseball team has never been to a World Series? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Seattle Mariners, who were founded in 1977, have never been to the World Series.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years. Selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
Jaguar fans, Palm Beach Autographs is putting together a Fanatics exclusive with a chance for you to meet and get an autograph from Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. All the details are at PalmBeachAutographs.com. It's happening October 28th at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall.
Celebrating 30 years in Jax Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
If you're at home on the range, tee it up with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by USA Park Airport Parking. Travis Hunter is nominated for the NFL's Rookie of the Week after totaling 8 receptions for 101 yards, as well as a touchdown, along with a pass defended in Week 7. Hunter is the 5th player in the NFL since at least 1999 to record 100-plus receiving yards, a touchdown, and a pass defended in a single game. Right now, 76 degrees at 11:03, time in 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, if you want to get in with the log, 641-1010, the most direct way to do it on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. It's got a lot on the text line, but as soon as I see 10 more come in, and they get buried at times. But I've got a tweet up in front of me that we will use for today's 10-10 take.
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, typically on Check the Tape Tuesday, we let Jeff Lageman weigh in with a 10-10 take on a specific question logs. This one, Bush Drive Rich usually asks some pretty good questions, and after watching the tape from the first 7 weeks heading into the bye, what do you think is the offense's identity and or strengths at this point?
Well, I think the identity needs to be of a team that runs the football very well. And the reason I say that is that that's kind of what you did the first couple weeks of the season, where you were kind of controlling the tempo of a game. And the last 2 weeks, in some respects, you got away from it a little bit. I think in the Seattle game you did because there was an attraction to take advantage of a secondary that had a lot of injury. And then this past game, it's just because you got behind. It wasn't anything that was like, oh, well, we've got a scheme that we think we can throw the ball all over the Rams. It was a matter of, oh, we're down a couple scores. We need to get going a little bit. But that to me, that it needs to be a team that runs the ball effectively, utilizes play action. And right now, that's where your quarterback is at his best, is having that in his pocket.
Are they sticking to it enough or with it enough? I understand that, like this week, first play, sack. So you're behind, right? Mm-hmm. Second drive, penalty. So you're behind the sticks, and it's tough to stay with it if you're, a 4-yard gain is not as great on 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 20. So, but overall, has the commitment been strong enough in the games? Because with the exception of this one, they've been in every game.
Yeah.
Even though it felt like Seattle dominated, it was an 8-point game. So have you seen enough of a commitment to stay with it?
Yeah, I think so. And this past game, again, it's kind of like we talked about, a little bit of an aberration just because of the situation. But, yeah, I think you've stayed committed to it. Can there be more commitment? Sure. But, you also can't be scared of throwing the ball on 1st and 10 when you've got an easy completion for, 7-8 yards and then the possibility of having run after the catch. You can't be afraid as a play caller to not want to call that, because if it's there, you got to execute that play, right? And what I'm referring to again is that first play of the game for the Jaguars on offense. You can't be scared of having some pass plays called in the game to where they almost serve as run plays. You know what I mean? Kind of easy completions for 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, and then you line up because it keeps teams off balance. You can't be this predictable team in which we're going to get 3.5 yards, and then maybe throw it on 3rd down. You can't be like that.
This one here on the text line, you said Trevor didn't give us a chance to win, yet we were in field goal range 5 times with 0 points. Okay. And again, did he got him into field goal range? And
right.
Yes, they missed the one field. Let's say they opted for field goals on all of them. There's 15 more points. You lose 35-22.
Still not in it.
That's still a 2-touchdown game. I mean, Trevor had the opportunity to put points on the board on those drives by converting, not letting it get to 4th down, and then converting some of those fourths when it did get to 4th down. I mean, part of this is, have they lost confidence in Cam Little, or to what degree might they have lost confidence in Cam Little?
Well, I think that kind of question brings up a couple things. One is the Cam Little thing, because he is clearly a little off, and that's not what we've kind of grown accustomed to with him.
No pun intended.
In his very short career. Okay, we expect him to be money. We expect him to have great range. And I don't know the answer to this, again, because I'm not Freud, but, the whole dynamic kickoff thing changed this year. So that's kind of the only thing that's different from last year to this year, and it's something that the league has required kickers to be good at. And then Cam wasn't having very much success with that to start the year. So you just wondered, did some of that take away from his success also as a field goal kicker that's just been so good? I don't know the answer to that, but he's got to be better.
And for the record, Liam Cohen said yesterday that not switching kickers, at least not now. He had a talk with him.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to give him a chance because, he's been exceptional at times. And last year he was exceptional. But to go to the whole, field goal scoring thing and all of that, look, I get the feeling that the Rams dialed it back in the second half. Don't you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Totally dialed it back.
We talked about it yesterday.
They ended the half.
The worst thing, 145. They pick up 9 on 1st down, convert it, and then take knees. The rest of they were not feeling threatened at all.
They had zero concern about their defense's ability against the Jaguars offense. They had zero concern.
Right. They just felt like if we don't turn it over deep in our own territory.
We go ahead and start our 4-minute offense here at the second half. We have confidence that the way our defense is playing against that offense, we're fine.
Yeah. And they were, as it turned out. They were right. All right, timeout here. More with Jeff Lageman coming up on a Check the Tape Tuesday. Keep the questions coming, either on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll check in again on social media as well as we go along. In hour number 2, this is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Post-game Monday is like digesting a huge day of football.
Let's do this.
Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day.
It's not great. It's fantastic.
Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Post-game Monday.
So delicious.
On 1010XL.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
Jaguars Today Tuesday is serviced by Julington Creek Pest Control.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The good guys stayed strong and together at their home away from home, and that fight would pay off. In the fourth quarter, Trevor Lawrence would lead the Young Guns on a 5-play, 80-yard drive, capped off by a Travis Hunter touchdown with 9:06 left in regulation. The 2-minute drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, Jeff here with us on a Check the Tape Tuesday, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines. If you have a specific question about Jaguar football for Jeff, you can bring it to the table. You're certainly welcome to. Tons to talk about Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be the way it goes when you're not winning the last couple weeks, and the quarterback's a part of it, and the quarterback's always going to be a big focal point. But whatever you got, bring it to us here at 641-1010, and we'll find out what Brandon's got on his mind. He's up next from St. Augustine. Brandon, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Hey, I had a question for Jeff. There's something that I've never really understood about pro football that I'm hoping to get an answer on from an insider. It seems to me that NFL coaches, good example from last game, are extremely stiff. You know, they don't think very agile. And it's like, for example, we're getting torched all over the field, and Travis Hunter sitting on the sideline. They come out in the second half, they put him in. He has a great pass breakup on Devontae Adams, and then they promptly take him out of the game again, back to the plan. Is it more of an ego thing where they're like, hey, my plan's going to work, because they clearly had a plan for Travis Hunter? Or is it more of a thing, an operational thing where like, hey, we've got these substitutions tied to these calls, and it has to stay in the game? I was wondering what's your opinion on that.
Well, I mean, we're going back to talking about the management of Travis Hunter and his play time here. I mean, that's kind of where you're focusing in on. And, again, you have a thought process that you work on all week long in a game plan that you work on all week long to be able to utilize the skill set that Travis Hunter has. And so it's not about you think you're smarter than anybody else and that you're not cutting edge smart during the game at making adjustments or anything of that nature. It's just the reality of that this was the game plan that they had envisioned for Travis Hunter, and that's what they stuck with. And I don't have any problem with that. Their whole idea was to get him more involved in the offense, and if you'll look at what they had available from a personnel standpoint, they had 2 tight ends active. That means they were going to be playing a crap load of 3 wide receiver sets, which means that Travis Hunter was going to be on the field almost all the time on offense. And so they wanted to pare back or to scale back the amount of snaps that he was going to have on defense. I don't think it was anything intentional or lack of intelligence or anything else of that nature. That was the game plan.
All right. Appreciate the call. This one, the Travis Hunter usage aside, specifically, what do you make of the play calling on offense by Liam Cohen?
I thought the play calling was fine. I thought the execution of it wasn't very good. Could the play calling be better? Sure. The play calling can always be better. If anybody comes out and says, oh, our plays are fine and we just need to execute better and there was absolutely nothing wrong with what we called, I think that's just being ignorant. I think you can always be better in all facets, whether it's play calling, performance, execution, all of that. So, but overall, was there things there and plays there to be made? Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Tim, who's downtown, checking in on a Check the Tape Tuesday. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, what I'd like to know, long-time listener, first-time caller, is when is the coaching staff going to shake things up and get Trevor's attention and sit him down during the game and bring in the backup?
All right, everyone tunes in thinking they had the first original idea in their life, and we go over the same stuff over and over.
Can we get a counter?
Jeff, your thoughts on Nick Mullins playing for the Jaguars?
He's a backup.
Please. He's a backup. Should they sit Trevor down to get his attention, to let him know that Nick Mullins is breathing down his throat?
No, you should leave Trevor out there to get him better.
You sure about that?
Positive.
You're positive about that?
Mike. Positive.
All right.
Look. If all of a sudden, and this is looking way down the road. Okay, let's say Trevor stays at the bottom of completion percentage and passer ranking, and it's not getting better. Look, the team's not stupid. Okay, are they going to sit there and say, "Well, we're committed to Trevor. We're going to keep him for the next 10 years"? No.
But as long as you are, like the moment you bench Trevor and say, "We're just going to give Nick Mullins a look," that's the moment it's over to me. I know Bryce Young rehabilitated his stock, but it's only because Andy Dalton got hurt that he got back in last year to get that chance.
Well, and I think that was kind of on really the farthest end of the spectrum as far as like performance. I mean, Bryce Young was really bad week in and week out.
Right.
So I in that situation, I think you almost have to, because he had been so bad for so long. We're not talking about Trevor being terrible every week. Let's not overreact to one game and say that, okay, and draw out this conclusion that says that Trevor has been so bad all year long, they're winning despite him. That's not been the case. They've been winning with him too. This game, he just did not play well at all.
All right. I guess thank you for the question, but I think it's pretty clear at this point.
And look,
Nick Mullins is not getting any run.
Here's the reality.
Jeff Lageman has anything to say about it.
I mean, the NFL's not about sending messages. Let's punish him because he's not playing well. No,
wake him up, shake him up.
Professional football, man. I mean, these guys are adults. They either play well or at some point they will not be in the lineup. But it's not like you can just go to the backup and be better because you're going to the backup. Yeah. The reality is that there's a backup, and he's called a backup for a reason, okay? It means he's not as good as the starter, okay? Now, if this were Cleveland, okay, and we're talking about one quarterback is at a 98 grade, the other one's a 96, and the other one's a 94 out of, let's say, 200 scale, okay, well, let's make a switch and give it a try, okay? Nick Mullins is probably like a 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put Cody Kessler in for Blake Bortles, it's over for Blake Bortles.
Yes.
Right? Like, that's the situation here. Like, if they go to that kind of thing, it's done with Trevor. They've made their decision.
Nick not Mullins saying it won't reach that point. One day, at some point. It's not 7 games into Liam Cohen's inaugural season in Jackson.
And 7 games into Trevor Lawrence's exposure to a new offensive system. I mean, look, and trust me, everybody's working hard to get better. That's all you got to do. Keep trying to get better, and the reality is that Trevor's your quarterback.
All right, let us get another Brandon, this one in Jacksonville Beach. I think he's got an interesting question here. Brandon, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's very obvious that having Brenton out it's been a big situation to our run game.
Brenton Strange.
And then also, I mean, he's got Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
And then having the situation, a blanket for Trevor, having him gone, it's really showing how important he is to the team. With you watching tape, Jeff, you see that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Brenton coming back, definitely help the team out.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the last 2 weeks without Brenton Strange. Your ability to run the ball hasn't been probably quite as good, especially early in the ball games. It provides you a huge advantage when it comes to schematic matchups, the way teams treat you. The fact is that Hunter Long and all the rest of your tight ends are not Brenton Strange, just the way it is, And so, yes, I mean, that definitely hurts. I've said this before. I thought Brenton Strange is one of the 3 best tight ends in football right now, and I still believe that. I think he's an excellent football player. And not having him out there is tough because it gives you an extra offensive lineman because his blocking has been that good. And his receiving abilities as a tight end, I think, we've only begun to see the tip of the iceberg in that category with him.
What about Devin Lloyd and his absence? How much
look, Mr. Turnover, Mr. Takeaway, right?
Has been.
Played a part in 6 of the takeaways the Jaguars have had this year. He's got 4 interceptions. He got the fumble recovery. He's got a punch out. I mean, he's great. But unfortunately, the injury that he had, I believe, was like a calf. And calves are one of those things that you got to be really careful on. And I would rather have heard pulled hamstring than a calf because if you look at the recovery of a calf versus like a hamstring or a quad or some other type of soft tissue injury, it's much longer. So can they get him back this week or next week after the bye? I hope so.
Well, how did Ventrell play?
Well, he gave up the one big play on a critical fourth down opportunity. Or a third down opportunity to get off the field, and it was a blitz. And he's supposed to, what we call, when you're a blitzer off the outside edge, you got what you sometimes call peel coverage. So if the back releases to your side, crosses your face, you basically trail them. I don't remember what point of the game it was, but he missed that one. You're missing Devin. There's no doubt. And Devin Lloyd can hit some people. Does a really good job sometimes because he's real physical. But this was a game that, being that physical run defender is not what you really want to have on the field. You want to have somebody who's a little bit more adept in pass coverage, which Devin Lloyd this year has been fantastic.
This is from Mac in Delaware. For you, Jeff, do you think the win over KC has had a mental effect on the team? In other words, did they get so up and put so much in that game that there was some kind of a letdown factor? I would think if there was, maybe you could acknowledge that for the Seattle game. We're 2 weeks removed, but what do you think?
Well, I think the Kansas City game, anytime you have a Monday night football game and it's a big win and it's an emotional win, and then you turn around and you play a good football team, teams that are inexperienced of being in that scenario sometimes, have to learn how to kind of move on to the next game a little bit. Sometimes you can kind of, I don't want to say revel, but maybe waller in the win and people telling you, you're good and all that kind of stuff. And so could that have had an effect on the Seattle game? I thought it did, because I didn't think that the Seattle game that they played with as much energy and emotion as they did on the Monday night game. But this past game, I don't think there's any carryover to this past game. I just think this team came out. They didn't make plays early. The Rams came out with a little bit more energy and made plays early. And, there's probably going to be a discussion in the future about, do we want to travel on a Monday anymore?
Honestly, I don't want to hear any discussion about when they go. Because if the Rams going to show up like at the last second and be like, whatever. And Stafford said it during the week. I've never once in the second quarter of any game gone, damn, I wish I got some more sleep. Adrenaline will carry you, I feel like, for 3 hours, Logs. I'm not saying sleep's not important, but
it is important, but also let's look at what the Rams did. The Rams played a game in Baltimore and stayed in Baltimore all week. Okay, so Jaguars flew to London and stayed in London all week. So it's not like the Ravens didn't have opportunity, or the Rams didn't have opportunities for distractions in Baltimore. I'm kind of with you in that, it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of execution on game day, whether you travel on a Monday, whether you're traveling on a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. But I am a fan, and I've always said this, and I've said this to you guys before, about when you go to the West Coast. I've never liked as a player going on a Friday, just because it was just a little bit too much time to find a distraction. I'm not a big fan of going to London on Mondays because, again, it's an opportunity to find more distractions. Not that guys are out partying at night and drinking and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that it's a different chance to be. It's abnormal. It's a change of schedule. I always like traveling on the West Coast on a Saturday. I've liked traveling overseas the way the Jaguars have done it in the past, which is traveling on a Thursday, getting there Friday morning. But does that change the way the game outcome should be? It shouldn't.
Yeah, that's the point I'm talking. They've traveled Sunday night, they've traveled Mondays, they've traveled Tuesdays, they've traveled Thursdays. The results don't seem to necessarily fluctuate.
Good teams travel well.
Yes.
They were there for the second week last year when they played well in London. That was more about New England was terrible, right? The Jags weren't any good, but they were there for a week and a half before they played that game against New England. It didn't have a big effect on them that time. They just stunk on Sunday, and that's on them.
All right, let's get Tim on the west side next here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. I have a question for Jeff. I know football is a violent game. I know there's big emphasis on turning over the football, but all this punching the football is kind of aggravating me sometimes. How many times do they punch and not hit the football and just punch the player?
Well, it's funny you bring that up, Tim, because the league actually sent a memo out last week about the possibility of fining players for punching not at the ball necessarily. And they included video and everything to kind of go along with that. That also warned that there could be penalties if there was excessive punching and it was not in the direction of the ball.
Yeah. I've always wondered why with that kind of play, if you punch, you miss the ball and you just hit him, why isn't that a personal foul?
Exactly.
right? Like, I've always kind of wondered
Kyron Williams got punched in the face, Tony. You remember that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Total right at the goal line.
Like, I get it. Guys are trying to punch the ball out. That's fine. If you hit the ball, good for you. If you miss the ball, throw the flag. Like, that's how I've usually felt about it. Or at least miss the body if you miss the ball.
Yeah, no, I think it's gotten a little bit too much. But, where's the line? That's a very hard line to distinguish, because, going back, Charles Peanut Tillman was the kind of the guy that really made the punch a thing in the National Football League. And now every team is trying to emulate Charles Peanut Tillman with the peanut punch, is what he called it. And that's it's smart football. I mean, if I was a Little League coach, I'd be coaching at Little League. If I was a high school coach, I'd be coaching in the high school.
No doubt.
In the NFL, if I'm an NFL player, I'm taking advantage of the punch every chance that I get for two reasons. One, I want to punch the ball out. Number two is that if I can throw a punch and it happens to hit him in the forearm and it hurts, good.
Good, yeah.
I'm okay with that. But I don't want to be the first guy in trying to throw a punch unless it's a very well-timed punch like Gardak had earlier this year when the receiver caught the ball and he punched that thing out. It was perfect timing. It was great placement. And he also had the ability to get his arms around the guy. But I've also seen games, and I've been a part of it. We think we had like $5,000 on the next takeaway when I was in New York, and we had the worst tackling game ever. We were all throwing punches and trying to get the ball out. So that's, so punching the ball out is a part of the fabric of the NFL. It's part of the fabric of even college football now. The more you're seeing it even more in that, and I'm okay with it. But I'm okay also with calling penalties. If a guy's coming in there punching and he's throwing, roundhouses into the neck and head, then I think that should be penalized.
All right, thank you for the call, Tim. We got to take a timeout. We'll come back. Tony will take us around the league. A few more questions with Jeff Lageman. On a Check the Tape Tuesday, you're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Get more Gators
and more Prosser and Hickett. Unfiltered.
Football insight, analysis, and critique from your breakfast buddies on the Swamp Session podcast
from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Right after every game.
Streamed live on the 1010XL social channels.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
This is Hayes Carlion, here from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted, and Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit morganconleyroofing.org.
Jaguars Today Tuesday, kept pest-free by Julington Creek Pest Control.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 877-4300.
Celebrating 30 years in Jax Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is your go-to for cash on the spot. They buy gold. Huge sale on firearms all month. Save during Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday with no sales tax on firearms. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WindoWorld wants you to do. WindoWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WindoWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WindoWorld can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WindoWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WindoWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WindoWorld, and to top it off, WindoWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WindoWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
Guys, fall is here, and so are the all-new styles from Untuck It. We make the world's best untucked shirts, and this season's new arrivals are some of our best yet. From soft-brushed flannels to easy wrinkle-free cotton, every shirt is designed to keep you sharp and comfortable, whether you're layering up for work, weekends, or nights out. Special discounts for first-time customers, so shop now. Get the new arrivals today at untuckit.com and more than 80 stores. Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, here with Jeff Lageman on a Check the Tape Tuesday as we continue along towards the bye week coming up and reflecting on the Jags' 35-7 loss to the LA Rams this weekend. Logs, what about some of the other wide receivers? Parker Washington had a terrific training camp, and I feel like, there are times he looks like maybe the best receiver on the team at moments. But at other times, he's dropping the ball just like anybody else. Like, is he been immune to this, or how is he graded out in your film sessions?
Well, I think he's got, 2 big drops so far, maybe 3, and maybe you can remember better than me. But I can remember this past game he had that one, and then he had.
I think he got credited with 2 officially
in this past game.
Yeah. I think I saw that anyway. I saw somebody go through, like, whoever it was, NFL Next Gen Stats or whatever it was. But go ahead.
But anyway, could he be better? Sure. I mean, what a shame that he had that punt return called back. I'm still trying to, I watched the film and I couldn't get a real good look at it. The thing that I think that bothered me about that play was that the official that called it was about, he was kind of on the Jaguars or on the far sideline, and he was away from the play. And you had an official that was right there. Who didn't throw the flag.
How do they not get together then?
I don't get that. That was a big momentum swing, or could have been a big momentum swing in that game.
Because the clip you see, like, it shows Jarian running stride for stride.
Yeah.
And at the end of the clip, it looks like maybe he's about to contact him or something, but then the clip cuts off right there. Like, I don't know if something supposedly happened after that.
I watched the film, and every angle I can watch on the film, it almost looks like the gunner, which is what Jarian was blocking, was one of the gunners. And that the gunner just, when Parker makes his move, then the gunner tries to make a move and then is just out of control, and his arm flails. But almost kind of giving the impression, it was almost an acting job of trying to give the impression that he was pushed. But I didn't see it, and I watched, when you watch it on film, I've got, on the film room stuff that I get a what we call the all 22, which is a big picture look, and then you get the tight end zone, and then you get a wide end zone, and then you get the TV copy. And I've watched every one of those angles on that play, and I can't find it. I can't find a penalty. So,
what do you think of the Dewey Wingard unnecessary roughness in the end zone?
Total garbage.
Thought so.
That was terrible call. Terrible call. I've said this before. You're in a situation that's called bad team bias. Historically, your team has not been very good, and so a lot of times you need to overcome what is a natural human element, which is bias towards bad teams. Look, the Rams have been a good team recently. They won a Super Bowl with Matt Stafford. So they're going to get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, whereas the Jaguars have not been a very good team lately, so they're not going to get the benefit of the calls. And so sometimes, and in some cases, you have to overcome the officials in some games and play better than just enough to beat the team. You got to play better to beat the team and the officials sometimes. But you can't have that mindset that, they're always against us.
You know, and I get it. Like, if you're a Jag fan, you're like, man, Parker Washington, that cuts it to 14-7 right there. I don't know if that changes the level of play from the rest of the team going forward. They played poorly enough to lose by 28 points.
Yeah, I think it could have, but you don't know. I mean, you still got to overcome things.
I have a hard time blaming it on the feet of the or at the feet of the referees.
No, I don't blame this game on the refs, but I think that it wasn't great.
Yeah. And I know there were a couple moments during the game, and fans don't make note of these things because they just see where they're getting hosed on a call. But you mentioned a couple times like there were penalties on the Rams where you were like, I don't know what.
I said that a couple times in the broadcast.
Like, I don't think the officials were good on Sunday there in London overall. There were a couple of big moments where it really bit the Jaguars. Now, the big moments were bigger for when they bit the Jags than they were for the Rams. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I also think when you're talking about the level that Trevor Lawrence was playing at on Sunday, I don't think the punt return is the reason why they did or didn't win.
No, I mean,
he just wasn't playing well enough for them to win.
No, there was a couple plays, that you think that the bad officiation plays, like the one that Parker I thought got turned early in the game on a catch opportunity, and that might be the one, Mike, that they're talking about was a drop, because Parker not only got turned, but then after he got turned, he got whacked in the head and neck area. I mean, so we were all kind of on the air talking initially about, he got turned, that should have been interference, and I go watch the film, and I was like, because after that, I was like, how can you not call that? Well, I took my attention away from the play and watching the film. I'm going, that's a blow to the head and neck of a defenseless wide receiver. If you're going to call Dewey Wingard in the end zone on that one play, then you got to call that guy for making contact on Parker Washington.
All right. I don't know if that was the one they were referring to.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Specifically, but the other one that hit him basically in the face.
Yeah, it was bad.
Got to kind of get those hands
bad
up.
Drop.
All right. Tony Smith taking us around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Tennessee is releasing wide receiver Tyler Lockett at his request. It's a high ankle sprain for Carolina quarterback Bryce Young. He'll miss at least 1 week for the Panthers. Washington has said that the hamstring injury for quarterback Jaden Daniels is not a serious or long-term injury, but his status for this week remains unclear. Atlanta quarterback Michael Penix Jr. is considered day-to-day due to a bone bruise that he suffered to his foot/ankle on Sunday night. Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson was not seen practicing on Monday. Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith was back on the practice field. Both are working to return from hamstring injuries. Miami tight end Darren Waller is considered week to week with a pectoral strain. New Orleans running back Kendra Miller suffered a torn ACL Sunday, and Saints center Eric McCoy is believed to have suffered a torn biceps, which would end both of their seasons. Kansas City defensive end Omar Norman Lott suffered a torn ACL. He'll miss the rest of the year. The Las Vegas Raiders are expecting tight end Brock Bowers and wide receiver Jacoby Myers to be ready to return following their bye this week when the Jags head off to Vegas for Week 9. And the NFL is suspending Denver linebacker Dre Greenlaw 1 game for verbally threatening referee Brad Allen after the Broncos' comeback win over the Giants on Sunday.
I mean, I get his initial reaction because I don't know if you saw the video, like the ref kind of shoved one of his players. They're all rushing in to celebrate the game-winning field goal, and one of the players was in the ref's way, and he kind of went a little aggressive, shoving him out of the way, and that's Drake Greenlaw was reacting to that in the moment, but can't be threatening the ref.
No, you can't.
After the game.
There was another guy that kind of also touched the official there in that situation. That's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of response to that.
Yeah, that's their issue, but we will monitor that one. One final segment with Jeff Lageman on Check the Tape Tuesday, heading into the bye week. That's straight ahead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for big number one Duval Ford. Been talking a lot about their mobile service. They have a great service department, but Ford Mobile Service will come to you at home or at work. That's for oil changes, filters, battery replacement, recalls, you name it. A long list of things with no extra fees, same dealership quality delivered to you. Easy online scheduling with live technician tracking as well. The convenience of that great Ford service. Big number one Duval Ford on Cassett Avenue. Check them out online at duvalford.com.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Northeast Florida auto, power sports, and RV dealers. Tom McMahon is here for Dealer Connect. The nation's #1 AI conference for dealers is coming to Jacksonville October 29th and 30th at the Marriott Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach. It's 2 days of tackling the future of AI in automotive with some of the industry's biggest names. Keynote speaker, Hall of Famer Joe Theismann will autograph items to benefit the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Get tickets now at DealerConnect2025.com. That's DealerConnect2025.com.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Protected by Shillington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Bellard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Call 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Jeff Lageman Tuesday is serviced by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
All right, got a few more minutes with Logs. I think we'll get one more call in with you, Jeff, and then we'll look ahead to the bye week and beyond. Mo is on the south side. Next up on Jaguars Today. Mo, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just want to bring some positivity to the fan base. I look at it like this. The last two losses against the Seahawks and the Rams were probably against two of the better NFC teams that are probably going to be in the playoff hunt, if not making a run in the playoffs. And then the other thing is, and if I could just make a public service announcement, just Jaguar fans, stay off of the cesspool that's known as Twitter. It's better for your mental health. So that's the number one thing. Like, that's, for me, for example, like, I know it's been a bad 2 weeks. I stay off of Twitter. I don't have to read, everyone being a super GM, everyone analyzing everything. I think we have the right people in, positions of leadership, positions of power. And I'm sure that they'll, fix everything that needs to be fixed because it can only go up from here. And then one question for Jeff, since he has, inside information. How come there was no video posted of, like, the locker room afterwards? I know they've done it every week since the season started, but is it due to the London trip, or, like, what's the deal behind that? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, could have been that, too, because you're essentially taking the entire organization and putting them on an airplane until 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's no ability to post.
They're breaking it down as quick as they can possibly get out of there.
Because you have to pack up cameras and video equipment, and there's no ability to send it back. So, a lot of that stuff, I'm sure, has been put on hold just because of that. And then everybody gets back again, like I said, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think there's anything that's suspicious going on there. But I like his attitude being positive.
Yeah, I will say this, though, on the positive angle of it. When you say there's nowhere to go but up, they're 4-3. There's plenty of down.
Okay,
they are in the playoffs if the playoffs started today. So to say there's nowhere to go but up, the Gus Bradley era, there was nowhere to go but up. This is not.
They can't play a whole lot worse than they did. They can turn it over, which is not something that's been a part of the issue here in these last 2 weeks against Seattle and the Rams, right? Like, that hadn't been the issue. They got other issues that are going on. There's certainly room for them to get worse than where they are right now. But the schedule seems to open up for them. With the Raiders coming in for the next hunt, they ought to beat the Raiders, right? Like, if they're not terrible, they ought to beat the Raiders here in a couple weeks.
Raiders probably feeling the same way about the Jaguars.
Exactly. And they'll get Brock Bowers back, and we'll see. They got their bye week. But, Logs, give Jaguar fans something positive to hang their hat on, that, you know what, no matter what, you feel like coming out of the bye, we're going to be good at this.
Well, I think, if you look at this football team, and they played incredibly well going into that game against Seattle, there's 4 wins on the ledger, and there was 4 wins that they played pretty well. And so they can find it. They just got to continue to work and to get back to that mindset that they had with those 4 victories. And I'm confident that they will find it.
What about yourself? What do you do with the bye week?
Me, personally? Well, we got a TV show on Wednesday night, Jaguars All Access, me and Brent Martineau, and I'm not sure if we're going to have a guest or not, but we'll be live at Strings as our usual time. Usually it's on a Thursday. This week it's on a Wednesday. And then the rest of the week I will be detached. And I will probably join you guys via Opal on Tuesday coming up next week.
You won't join him because somebody's got next Monday and Tuesday. That's bye week, baby. I got vacation days.
Well, anyway,
left.
This is a bye. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all.
I'll talk to you, Tony, on Tuesday. How about that?
Look, I probably would have done it Monday or Friday, Monday, but McManus is already out on Friday, so I didn't want to leave Tony hanging.
Yeah, enjoy the time.
That's where we're at. All right, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Joe C.
Yo.
What sports problems will you be solving today?
There's too many to fix, okay? that laundry list is because, and you guys have talked about it, we talked about it yesterday, you can't point to any one thing. That's the thing how about that line play? How about that run game? How about that lack of pass pressure? How about that lack of accuracy? How about that lack of catching? On and on and on. And so it does. It becomes. It's a big ball, and I don't.
A lot of people feeling the lack of Nick Mullins in the game plan is what's holding them back, basically. Oh, it's more. Yeah. You heard one of it. There's a lot of it available.
All I know is that there's concern that the barbershop is giving up on Trevor, and when the barbershop gives up on you, you're
understood. All right, so Jags and college ball.
Yep. Because there's a bunch of coaching openings in the college football world. 7 already here before the end of October. So anyway, we'll jump in on that with the Billy Napier firing and all that kind of stuff.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is Vanderbilt for real?
Dude, I didn't think we would be in a world where Virginia and Vandy are looking better than, say, Florida and LSU or Florida State for that matter.
Well, I mean, I say
down,
that.
Says Tony.
I saw the college football game day or whatever is going there on Saturday, and I know my Virginia Cavaliers are having a good season. How many times do you have Virginia and Vanderbilt?
It's the truth.
Playing well.
And Georgia Tech.
And Northwestern getting a coach fired. Okay, all the academics have stepped forward.
Crazy.
Big time.
All right, have a good show, Joey.
All right, thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Logs, have a good
thank you,
few days off, and we'll enjoy your coverage a week from now. At least Tony will. I don't know. I'll get up. I'll set the alarm to make sure I check in with you guys on Jaguars Today. All right, that'll do it for us on a Check the Tape Tuesday. John Ogier will join us tomorrow for Jeff Lageman, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark. I'm Mike Dempsey. Hopefully it will get better, and hopefully Mo's right. There's nowhere to go but up for your Jaguars. That'll do it for us. XL Primetime is next here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Andersen Custom Window